Our scripture today is from the second chapter of Luke, verses 41 through 52. His parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem according to the custom of the feast. When they had finished the days, as they returned, the boy Jesus lingered behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother did not know it. But supposing him to have been in the company, they went a day's journey and sought him among their relatives and acquaintances. So when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem seeking him. Now so it was that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, both listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astonished at his understanding and his answers. So when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Look, your father and I have sought you anxiously." And he said to them, "Why did you seek me? Did you not know that I must be about my Father's business?" But they did not understand the statement which he spoke to them. Then he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject to them. But his mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men. This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for reading the scripture, Susie, and thank you also for being here today. I'm going to tell you a little story. Part of it is about me, part of it is about my walk in faith, and part of it is about things I'm learning as I go along the journey. There were 6 of us, my parents, my younger sister, my Aunt Ruby, and my grandmother, and me. My aunt's husband had died 6 weeks after I was born. My parents and I lived in Richmond at the time. My dad had lost his job and had problems finding work. I was 8 weeks old when we moved to Roanoke to live with my aunt and grandmother. Aunt Ruby asked us to come live with her because she said her 10-room house was way too big for just she and Grandma. So here we came. I grew up in a Christian home, went to church every Sunday unless I was sick, which meant I had a temperature of at least 110 or greater. Or the snow was too deep to walk the 8 blocks to First Christian Church downtown Roanoke. Needless to say, with 4 adults in the house, I was spoiled rotten. I got that privilege for almost 6 years until my sister was born. I love my parents dearly, my sister sometimes, depending on the day, and also my grandmother for her apple pies that were amazing. And there was Aunt Ruby. She was the most special person in the world to me. We had a very, very close relationship. Some people even said I was her little shadow because wherever she was, she'd find me. I said my prayers nightly before going to bed. In the morning, Aunt Ruby and I would get up, read her daily devotions out loud to me in the kitchen before breakfast. When I learned to read, we would read the devotional together. I'd read the words that I knew, and she'd fill in the gaps. When I was old enough to go to school, she walked with me. We shared many conversations on my way to school and her way to work. We did this for 12 long years. When we came to the point we had to go our separate ways, she always said the same thing every day. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from the other. It wasn't until later in life I realized this quote was from Genesis. 31:49. It's known as the mitzvah benediction. The more I study the Bible and the more I read, I realize my days of studying aren't over. It didn't end when I graduated. We study what we want to learn. I want to learn, so therefore I study. Each time I read the scriptures, I get new insights and a better understanding. The purpose of study is more than gathering and memorizing information. Study's purpose is the transformation of our lives. In John 8:32, Jesus said, "The knowledge of the truth will set you free." The goal of study for Christians goes beyond the human desire for information and knowledge, but to seek a deeper transformation of our hearts, minds, and lives for Christ. We each need a study plan that enables our growth towards Christian maturity. Your study plan is only as good as you use it. Study can be done on your own in a study group, and there are even Bible studies on the internet. If you miss a day from study, don't beat yourself up. We're all human. We make mistakes. Just start over again the next day. The Christian bookstore can be a good source of information in finding study material, as well as asking advice from your Sunday school teachers, your Christian friends, or your pastor. We each need a study plan that enables our growth towards Christian maturity. We are all on a journey, but we're all on the journey in a different spot, depending on what's going on in our lives. Babies and children are constantly studying the world around them, always asking, why? Why? But why? And as they grow, we study newspapers, internet, and the news on TV to discover what's happening in our world. We study our jobs to learn new skills and new equipment and better ways to make the workplace more productive. We study new ways to make our lives at home better and our household run more smoothly. The fact is, we study what we think will help us discover ways to live a fuller life. Christianity must be the spiritual center from which our desires, motives, and decisions are made. Study is a spiritual discipline. It's the exercise of faith seeking understanding. We exercise our bodies to stay healthy, so we must exercise our minds to grow in our walk with Christ. Through study, we exchange destructive habits for new life-giving ways of thinking and living. We must study so we are equipped to share a Christ-centered outlook and realistic faith in a very complex world. Life can bring change, but don't let the world determine how you are changed. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine introduced me to something that I had never heard of, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. It's called prayer beads. They have Protestant prayer beads. The Catholic churches have rosaries for about 1,000 years, but the Protestant prayer beads are similar, but yet they're a little bit different. And I'll read you some information from a book that's been loaned to me. It's called The Beading of Prayer, and it's by Kristen E. Vincent. He loaned me book number 1, and my friend Marie gave me book number 2, so between the two, I got it all figured out. Okay, on the front of your bulletin, you will see the Protestant prayer bead. I have a pair that my friend Marie made for me. They're a little bit longer than the ones that I made and passed out for everybody. called the inventory deed, which reminds us to give our hearts to God, and it invites us to take time to pray. This is much like churches use the call to worship to begin a church service. The next deed up, I saw the black one on here. It's called the resurrection deed. And this is used to focus on Christ's gift to us, eternal life. Then the next one up from that, there are 4 dots around the circle, darker dots. Those are called cuneiform beads, and they form the shape of the cross. And the other beads that are in there, the smaller ones, there's 7 of those. And those are called week beads. They represent the days of the week. There is no right or wrong way to use the prayer beads. You can design your own format for the prayer bead. This is your prayer tool. It should be used as you need it, and God will provide a way to show you how to use it. The set of beads that I made for you guys is a little bit shorter than the original ones I had. They're smaller. They're called their beads as well, but they look like this. The first one is, most of them either have a cross or some sort of religious symbol on them. The second one, like I said before, is your inventory bead. And with the inventory bead, we use it in times of prayer to say, God, here I am, I need you. The resurrection bead helps us open our hearts and minds to His presence and the gifts that God gave us through Christ. And then the other one, continue on around. We have only 3 on here instead of the 7 because there's a lot of beads, and I figure if you want to use 7, you can go around the same way. This is a smaller version, so you can keep it in your pocket, you can put it in your car, you can keep it in your purse, wherever it needs to be. And it's a very useful tool. I've been carrying a pair with me for the last couple of weeks. And just knowing it's there, just kind of makes you feel good. The reason for the 4 different big beads, too, is also it reminds us that 4 is an important number in the Bible. There are 4 seasons of the year. There are 4 Gospels. And also, the number 7 represents the days of the week. And that on the 7th day, we are to rest and to listen to God and follow what He has to say. The second book that came out was called Another Bead, Another Prayer. It's written by the same lady, Christine Vincent, but her husband helped with this one. Earlier, I was telling you about my family. Well, we'll continue. As I grew, family dynamics changed. Grandma and Dad passed away when I was in my late teens. Aunt Ruby and Mom passed away in the late 90s. I'm truly thankful for their love and guidance. I treasure our time spent together, the lessons I learned the hard way most of the time, because I was a little bit stubborn and pig-headed. I appreciate their helping me with the growing pains of life and bringing me to Christ. That's the thing I'm most thankful for, is teaching me about God, love, and the sacrifice His Son made for us on the cross. My Aunt Ruby passed away at the age of 90. I wasn't there to hold her hand when she died, but I know God was there to take her by the hand and lead her home. We shared 42 wonderful years. It's just my sister and I to remember them. We live, unfortunately, over 2,000 miles apart, so we don't get to see each other as often as I would like. But we sure keep the telephone line going. We remember things that happened when we us about things that happened. But the last thing I remember saying to my aunt was one of the first things she taught me. May the Lord watch between me